Fight press conference. Tonight we will wait for the fighters to get changed, get showered. Some of them are getting tested, and they'll be here shortly from the fight tonight. We announced the May 14th tentpole event in San Jose, and the main event will feature King Mo fighting Phil Davis. That's the fight that didn't happen at the Dynamite show that everybody's looking forward to, as well as Josh Thompson fighting Michael Chandler in a lightweight fight. So those are the three fights, and let's open it up this time to John Slusser, Vice President from Spike Sports.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank the fans and we had a great crowd tonight. Thank Coker and his team who put on the fights that people wanted to see. And I just also want to say our broadcast team was phenomenal. You know, we were one man down in the truck. It was pretty emotional for people. But Scott Fisher and his team did a fantastic job, stepped up tonight. And it was a difficult one, but a great night in the truck. So thanks to them. You know, and coming up to this fight, we had a tremendous marketing effort led by Frank Tanky and his marketing team. We saw an amazing effort, and it was fantastic. So, I mean, it was a real team effort tonight, and it was a wild night. It was crazy. I just want to give you a couple quick stats on social media, which was going through the roof. You know, Bellator 149 trended throughout the entire main card and was the #1 trend in the U.S. for the second half of the card. And Bellator, the hashtag Bellator 149 was the #1 trend worldwide during the main events and is still, at this moment, #1 worldwide. So, you know, clearly people are talking, people are buzzing, and, you know, you never know what you're going to get, but it was a wild night, and so thanks for coming out.
Great. Yeah, this time let's just open it up. John?
Scott, just quickly wanted to ask if you had a medical update on Dada 5000.
No, I know that, he was transported to the hospital, but that's the only update we have right now.
Thank you. Great numbers on social media there. Obviously, there was a lot of interest tonight. A lot of feedback of the main events, the main and the co-main, how they played out. As a promoter, what were your reactions to the two key fights tonight? You know,
I talked to Hoyce right after the fight, and, he felt like, look, this was a fight, and if the referee would have stopped me, because I did an illegal technique, I would have stopped. But my job as a fighter, I went there to finish the fight, and that's what I did. And he said what he was saying in Ken's ear was, and he could tell you this, he'll tell you himself, but what he was telling Ken in his ear was like, look, we fought with no rules, no rounds, no this, So this was something that the referee should have stopped. My job was to continue. And Ken, he calmed down after he realized, hey, this is how it went down. And so I think he's okay with it now.
And how about the Kimbo and Dada fight?
Yeah, I mean, did I ever think it would go, that long? No, but, it was something that, hey, this is something that people should, it was a fun fight, and that's really what it was. And I never thought it would go into the rounds that it did, and then I think you saw some tired fighters in there.
And just lastly, of course, we'll wait to hear from Hoyce and Ken and find out what their intentions are, but because of the controversy, would you be interested at all in doing a fourth fight at some point, or do you feel like the questions have been answered?
I mean, you know what? I'm not sure. At this point, I don't even want to talk about it. I mean, we don't have any plans to promote the fourth fight right now, and we had one fight deals with these gentlemen, and we're going to move on. Sure. Why don't we open up King Mo? Any comments?
We can start from the left.
Phil Davis.
Yeah, start with Phil.
Any comments, Phil?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, comments about the show or
yeah, comments about the show, comments about your fight coming up, comments about King Mo.
Yeah. First of all, the show was awesome, man. I love the times I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just sit back and enjoy the fights, and next thing I know, I'm screaming. I just love when a fight brings me to the point where I have to be on my feet and I have to be completely engaged, and that's where I was all throughout the main card tonight, and a couple of the undercards. So yeah, great fights tonight. Can't wait to be back in the Bellator cage. May 14th, San Jose. That arena is it's special for me. I feel like I can't lose in that arena. So yeah, I mean, even if I have to fight twice, I won't lose. We know that for fact. So I feel like I'm good to go.
King Mo?
Tonight was a good night for fights. I was entertained. I was laughing, crying sometimes, shaking my head, pumping my fist, I did everything. I went through every emotion. It's like a roller coaster. But for May 14th, it's definitely going down. When people say things can't happen, they do happen. And he said he can't lose in San Jose. He's finna lose in San Jose. And then once I beat him, I told Coker this, I'm a challenge Minikov if he comes back for the heavyweight title. Thank you.
Josh?
I just want to thank you guys all just for coming out. This was a great show. I think there was a lot of expectations tonight on what it was going to be, and as you can tell, I think it lived up to the expectations actually of more than what it was going to be. People were saying it was going to be done in the first round. People were saying it could have been this, could have been that, but guess what? It was probably one of the most exciting ups and downs fights that I've ever seen, whether you want to call it whatever you want to call it, but it was great, man. I mean, honestly, for me, I was like, I was doing what King Mo was. I was pumping my fists. I was like, oh, you know. So it was a mixed emotion of fights. As far as with Cannon Hoist, you know, look, I wouldn't have a job without those guys, you know, and there's a lot that goes through my mind when you see those two guys still fighting, and people want to say things about it. But for me, it's more of a personal thing because as someone that you really don't know where your life would have been if you didn't have the sport, and it wouldn't be without them. So it's kind of an emotional thing, but it's exciting as well to see these guys go out there and do it again. As far as my fight with Chandler, look, we'll have media and press coming up to it, and he's obviously not here to defend himself. And so I'll just leave it up at that, and hope he's enjoying his little trip in Jamaica right now, his vacation. And better get his butt home quick. Get ready to train.
But if he was here, what would you say?
Whoop that ass. That's what's gonna happen. No, I mean, in all respect, I really like the guy. He's a great guy. I think everyone can see we've actually done a lot of stuff as far as social media stuff, and he's a great guy, man. You know, as a matter of fact, he's over in Jamaica right now, I believe, doing a retreat to kind of help people over there, which is amazing, and I'm excited to actually get in there and fight him. I've wanted this fight for a long time. You know, I've got my set sights on two guys, you know, and we just signed another one. So after I'm done with Chandler, you know, I'm either I go to 170 or I stay at 55, but either way I'm fighting Benson next. So that's the plan.
Scott, do you have any numbers, gate receipts, and numbers on attendance?
No, I don't, but I'm sure we can get something before we leave tonight.
Any questions regarding this fight? If not, we'll let these guys go home.
Okay. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, guys.
My head. Damn. Music.
The other guys?
Yeah, we have
My first knockout.
I'm stoked.
Hey, no, I'm very happy. That was my first knockout. But I was telling Ken, we come from an era where there was no time limit, no weight division, no gloves, no rules. Groin shot was allowed, but he did not catch his groin.
Questions for Emmanuel Sanchez. Can you hear me? Yeah. Questions for Emmanuel Sanchez. Bit of a slow starter, really strong finisher. You showed it in the last couple of fights. What do you attribute that to?
Corazon. Pure heart and determination. You know, when it comes down to it, I think it's just who wants it more. You know, and there's times you got to dig deep, you know, and I feel that way too. But, you know, I had the utmost respect for Daniel because I knew his first round was going to be the most dangerous, and then he wants to bring it. So in my previous fights, I didn't want to, you know, get reckless, get tagged, and, you know, or get beat up. This is the best I've looked since, like 2013 after a fight. So I'm very happy with that. But, you know, I had to kind of take on the onslaught at first, find the rhythm, and then break his will with mine.
For 2016, where do you think you are right now in the Bellator featherweight division?
Whatever the boss says, you know, I'm very thankful to be here. Thank you, Mr. Coker and Mr. Rich Chow, for all the opportunities. I've always taken one fight at a time. I'm not going to call anybody out. I'm not going to go and say things I don't mean or don't need to say. One fight at a time and earn it, prove it. Why I did it. It's the last have been decisions. That's unfortunate. I got to prove I can be a finisher first because I know I'm a finisher. So I got to go out and get those finishes and prove that I get the top fights.
And then lastly, the Los Lobos walkout song. What was the reasoning behind picking that song?
When I retire, I want to grow my hair out like Antonio Banderas one day and have it like there. No, tame bulls. I'm all about that life. But it's one of my favorite songs, and that's just how I feel when I'm out there. I'm just desperado, and I'm out to tame the bull.
Question is for Derek Campos. Derek, I know that was a really big victory for you, not only beating Melvin Guillard, but also stopping him and being one of the few guys in the sport that has ever stopped him. I just wanted to know from you, how does that feel, having that on your resume, that you actually stopped Melvin Guillard?
Definitely going into this fight, I had looked at Melvin's record and I analyzed him, and I knew that he only been finished one time with a KO, TKO, and it was in the back of my mind of possibly being able to do that. And I believed I could, but you don't want to go after just that one big shot. So it showed itself in the fight, and I took advantage of it, and that's the way destiny played out.
Question is for you, Mr. Coker. If you have it, do you know who possibly might have won knockout of the night and submission of the night?
Boy, I tell you, when I would I had to get the hoist. No, I mean it's impressive, but honestly, the knockout of Melvin Guillard was pretty impressive, and yours was too, hoist. It was very good. Thank you. Thank you for putting me in a corner there.
For Kimbo, please. Kimbo, you said immediately after the fight that you wish it would have gone a little bit different. I know it was a big win for you tonight, but assess your performance. How did you feel you performed in there?
It just lets me know that I have to continue to train, with a little bit more bigger guys to get used to that weight. He was a pretty strong dude. He took punches better than I thought, but hard work, and training camp pays off.
Were there any issues? Because by all accounts, you do work very hard in the gym, but it did seem like you tired out quickly. Was it just his weight, or did you come in with an injury?
No, it was his weight. It was really the weight. I underestimated the weight. I just underestimated the weight, and I didn't. It's all good. Just went 3 rounds. We did good, but it just underestimated his weight.
And you said earlier this week that you were preparing for a July fight. Is that still the plan right now? Maybe come back in the summer?
Yeah. Go back into the gym, back into training. Take a couple of days off, go in maybe once or twice out the week until it gets closer to around that time, and then, we turn it up.
Thanks, Kimbo. And just quickly, if I could, for Royce, obviously a big win for you tonight. Any disappointment at all? What you said is true about the rules, but is there any disappointment that there is a little bit of controversy, that you can't close the chapter of the book and be done with it?
To me, it's closed. I have no problem with him.
Thanks, Royce.
A question for Kimbo. How you feeling?
I'm good.
Tired?
Not anymore.
Now, when the fight was getting deeper, was it weighing on you mentally? Because I know how bad you didn't want to lose, obviously, to Dada with the rivalry and everything. You had to have a pretty great sense of relief when you got the W.
Losing is not an option for me. You got to really just beat the hell out of me in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to never just give up. I don't care if you got a submission, you're going to take the break. If you got a neck, you're going to have to choke me out, put me to sleep. And if you got better hands, you're going to have to knock me out. It's silly for the ref to stop it. I'm that type of fighter, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to never, ever just give up in a fight, and as long as I can breathe and I get back to my feet, we're going to go.
And Mike Brown had told me earlier in the week about, how much you've been working on your grappling and wrestling and everything. When you got that first takedown, the part of you want to be like, see, I could grapple.
It's just I seen a lot of submissions. I wanted to go for Mikey, but he said, Kimbo, let's just stick to old-fashioned KO. I saw a few things I wanted to go for, but I was like, nah, let me stick to the game plan.
I'm a witness. He was practicing going for the footlock in the locker room. Mike's like, nope, don't do it. Just beat him up.
Thank you, Hoy, for confirming, which is true. So that's why I just, say, you know what? A couple of takedowns on anybody to get down, to go down and get back up, go down and get back up. it'll take a toll on you, especially the heavier fighter. So, a few times I took him down, kept him down, tried to put my weight on him, but to back up off or let John get us back up and for us to go again,
Thank you.
Yep.
Question for Ken Shamrock. Ken, I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but you seem a little forlorn. I'm curious to get your response to what happened this evening.
We got knee in the nuts. I guess as clear as it is. I don't know what else to say. I think, I apologize to Hoyce in his corner because it wasn't his fault. He was doing what he had to do. But I wanted this fight. It bothered me a lot because I figured that in a main event fight with something like this, you had all those fans there. They're waiting to see us, end this our way. And all you had to do was stop and give me a chance to recover, tuck my nuts back in, and go again. That's all that had to happen. Instead, they called the fight. It was pretty clear to me.
So where does that leave you?
Lost. I don't. In my opinion, it's not over. I wouldn't want to win that way. If it was me personally, if I had hit somebody in the nuts and they went down, I knew that I hit them in the nuts, I would probably put my hands up and go, sorry, out of reaction. Out of a reaction, out of courtesy, out of reaction, I would have went, whoa, sorry, dude, and give him time to get his 5 minutes to recover. That's what I would have done.
One question for Mr. Slusser, if I can. After the event's over now, Spike has done a number of these tentpole events for Bellator. I'm guessing then actually what I'm looking for is after tonight, is this the kind of entertainment product you're looking for? Was this what Spike is aiming to produce?
Well, we want to entertain fans. We want to get viewers, but we let Scott and his team come up with the fights, and we broadcast them, and we do a good job broadcasting them. We're excited to do it, but at the end of the day, we let him put on the product, and we put it on TV.
For Hoyce, a similar question I asked Kimmel before, but did you feel a sense of relief? Obviously, you're a competitive guy, not wanting to lose after fighting so long, fighting Ken, the rivalry. Did you have a sense of relief after you got the victory when you could, relax and the fight was over?
To me, I look at fighting like another training day, just with the audience, live TV. But to me, it's just another training day.
And when you stepped into the cage, what was going through your mind at that moment? Because you hadn't been in the sport so long, the crowd was into you.
I can tell you, my heart rate got to 120. Before was about 60 in the locker room. That sometimes worries my corner. They're like, wake up, come on, get going.
And then when did it start getting going where you could come just right when the fight started?
Once the bell ring, yes. Once they say go, you got to about 120, that's it.
Now, is this going to be it for you? I know Scott had mentioned, you both had one fight deals. With this W, that your first knockout, you want to get back in there
let me go
again?
eat dinner first. I'm tired, I'm hungry. I want to go to sleep.
Thank you. Question for Ken. You mentioned the groin strike now. Why didn't you mention it in the cage when Jimmy Smith talked to you right after the fight? Just curious.
I'm not sure what your question is on that.
When Jimmy had talked to you immediately after the fight, you didn't mention the groin strike then.
I don't remember you talking to me. You mean in the ring?
Yeah.
Why would I say anything?
You're saying I thought you would have said it then. I'm just asking why you.
I think I made it really clear when I was in the ring. I was pretty upset. And then after I told Hoyce in his corner that I apologized to them, why would I keep going with it? I mean, maybe it was just a phantom thing. It didn't happen.
Thank you, Ken.
Question for Hoyce. Seeing Ken's reaction here, would you be up for a fourth fight if that were to come around?
My father did not make fighters. taught us how to teach, not how to fight. We fight to prove that our style is the best. It's up to Scott Coker. I thought I was out and he pulled me back in.
Thank you. And Kimbo, do you have any injuries after the fight?
Pardon me?
Do you have any injuries after the fight?
No, sir.
Just exhaustion?
Was exhaustion, not anymore.
Question is for Kimbo. You were talking about sticking to the game plan, even though you said there was some new things that you wanted to try. In the future, when we see you fight, because you say you're talking about getting back in there in July,
Yeah.
the more you train and the more you add to your arsenal, could we look forward to seeing maybe some of those new tricks you
Dude,
got in
how
the bag?
epic would it be if I finish a fight with some submissions, right?
Right.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. You know, I
Right.
still have goals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I was looking forward to it. Like, you were talking about practicing that footlock when you took him down. I was like, oh, man, Kimbo about to finish
It
with a
was a
submission.
few things that was there I saw, but you know, I gotta listen to the trainers, man.
Gotcha.
You know, they know what's best.
Exactly.
You know, if I feel like if I'd have steered off a little bit, then I'd have put myself in something. Then it would have just been on me. But I like for them to be the scapegoat in case something goes wrong.
Right.
You feel me?
Appreciate it, man.
Mike is looking at you over
Yeah,
there.
looking at me hard. Somebody got to be the scapegoat, right? I prefer it to be them.
Question for Scott. Seeing Dada 5000 go out on the stretcher, was there any concern for you? Obviously, he was an inexperienced fighter. If, God forbid, say, something serious were to happen with. I know it was an arbitrary case putting these two together, but, were you concerned going
Yeah, I
forward
mean,
with something
listen,
like that?
health and safety is always first. And just like when, we had a situation 2 weeks ago when Ryan got knocked out and, the stretcher came out and, it's always concerning. We're here to, the number one thing is the health and safety of these athletes, and that's the number one goal.
Thank you.
Just one question. I'm actually not sure if I should address this to Scott or John, but something that picked up a lot of attention. Unfortunately, a lot of us probably didn't get to hear it because we were out in the arena, but Mike Tyson commentating. Can you talk about just how that came about, whose idea was that, and is that something that we could see again? Is it something that Mike's interested in?
Well, Mike was here because he's a fan, and he's been a friend of the network as well. So, when you have something like that, we invited him to, be part of the broadcast. And actually, he wanted to stay longer than we thought it would just be a short period of time where he would just do, make some comments. But he wanted to stay, and it was really entertaining. Like he's a character, and it's a lot of fun to listen to him. I think it was a fun part of the night for sure. So, I think it was great, and love to have him back. Hope he comes back. That'd be great.
So is he no longer here? Because I wanted a picture.
Yeah, he's left the building.